Back in the greenhouse, I'm going to show you these figs. Look how big those two figs are getting. Look how big they are. And then got more figs. But those figs are not quite ripe yet. And they're getting close, but not quite yet. But they are really, really big. And there's a lemon, a large lemon there. And there's another large lemon there. And then there's a couple of small lemons. And there's a small lemon here. But look at this orange tree. He has perked up quite a bit. You can see he's got a lot of new growth on him since I transplanted him into a bigger pot. And here's the berries, the blackberries. Now my daughter just picked off one of the blackberries this morning. She's been waiting for it forever to get ripe because she wanted that blackberry. So I definitely kept it for her, and she finally went and picked it this morning. And there's the tomato plants. They're getting big. There's some new tomato plants in there, as you can see. The stevia is getting big. The chamomile is blossoming. The hot peppers. And I gave up on hydroponic. Had slugs come in and eat them. This one here looks like it's got a new growth on it right here. So, and I filled it up too full, but I haven't. And I don't know what's going on here. You can see this basil here is getting big. Starting to make basil. And this is a boysenberry that my daughter just bought, and it looks like it's doing really good since we put it in a new pot. So it's doing really good. Now I've come out here on several occasions and showed you the fig tree and talked about the fig tree. Now this is a black fig over here. It's got a couple of them on it. And if you look, it looks almost like we have a fig coming up out of the root. One right here, and this one right, if I can get it, here is coming from the root. This is from limbs, but that looks like it's coming out of the root, and also the other one. So now when this fig here, this one here, these two finally get ripe and all the figs come off of it, I am going to cut this back. I'm going to cut it back quite a ways. It looked like there was a fig leaf getting ready to come out right here, so, but I don't know what happened. But this fig had gotten froze. You can see here where this stem here had froze, and this part here had stayed alive, and so it came back. So figs do come back. I mean, even if they get froze, they will come back. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the figs and the health benefits that figs have. I have mentioned these figs, I think, several times about the figs in my greenhouse, but I have never really talked to you about the benefit of the leaves and the fig. Now the fig contains potassium, calcium, copper, fiber, iron, vitamin A, E and K. I believe it has vitamin B6 and also B2. And they say if you make a tea out of the leaves, now the leaves, I don't want to really pick one off. Let me pick one off, one of these guys over here. Now these leaves, when you pick them off, they have a, oh, well, that one has a fig on it too. Cool. But let me get a fig leaf here. Well, these fig leaves are just not going to come off very easy. Yeah. But when you do take the fig leaf off, there is a milk that's on them. These guys are really tough. Usually you can just pop these leaves right off, but these guys are really, really tough. But the milk from the fig leaf is beneficiary. They say you put those, now I am not a naturopath and I am not a doctor. This is what I have found in different looking things up and finding out, because I do a lot of natural remedies, home remedies for myself and my family. For you, you need to, before you do anything that anybody says on the internet or on YouTube or anything, go to a naturopath, go to a doctor. And a lot of these doctors won't let you know about natural. I've gone to pharmacies and talked to them about natural herbs and stuff, and they'll tell you they don't know anything about it. If they do, they don't, I mean, maybe they didn't, teach that naturally. I think actually they have to go to school to be a naturopath. They have to go to doctors and learn about herbs. Indians in all countries, Indians, East Indians even, they use a lot of turmeric, a lot of curcumin and everything. And from what I understand, there is very little, if any, Alzheimer's there. They say it's really good for the brain. Turmeric is. Turmeric is good for colds and flus and everything. So I'm going to cut a leaf off and see if we can get that milk to show up. There. Now, there's the milk, the white substance. And this white substance, they say, if you put it on a mole, that it will kill the mole. You do it every single day, and you will kill the mole. The mole will eventually disappear. And but the leaves have a lot of. They say if you make tea out of the leaves, you can. It helps with diabetes. It lowers the blood sugar. It helps with cholesterol. Opens up the arteries and cleans out the cholesterol of the arteries. And a lot of different things these figs do. The fiber in the fig itself is really good for you because it'll keep you from, it helps with constipation. And the fiber is good. They say it's good for like weight loss. And like I mentioned, it has calcium and potassium, fiber, protein, vitamins, iron, copper. Our body always needs iron. I don't know how much copper our body needs. I know that like goats need a lot of copper. Deer aren't really, the deer will not touch these. I've had my plant outside and I never had a deer touch them once. They've come up and nibbled on everything around it, but they never touched this fig tree. There's also a fig wasp that will go into here, but here figs don't grow outside because they will freeze. And so we don't have, I don't believe, I'm not going to say we don't, but I don't believe we have any fig wasp here. But the fig wasp will crawl through here, and they pollinate because this is, inside of the fig is the flower. And it has 2 females and 2 males. And so when a wasp goes in, her wings fall off, she dies inside of the fig. And they say that the fig just absorbs the whole entire corpse of the fig. Once the eggs hatch out, the males will drill a hole. The males will go into the females and breed them while they're still in their pupa stage. They will go in there and breed them, and they will eat a hole into the fig to where when the females finish hatching out, they can fly right out of the fig and then start the process all over again. So their life is not a very long life. Because once they are able to lay eggs, because they're already bred, they fly into another fig and then it starts all over again. I hope that kind of explains a little more about figs. They're just not a cool looking plant, you know. I mean, the leaves make tea. People drink a lot of tea. You dry the leaf and you'll make tea out of it. I know I love eating the figs. They're delicious. Figs will also are a good snack. So like after you eat dinner and if you still feel hungry, you can have a fig or two, and with all the fiber and everything, they'll help keep you full and not want to wander off and, you know, maybe overeat. Or you can have a fig or two before meals to help you if you're wanting to lose weight. Have a fig or two before you eat, and then you won't eat as much. Figs won't help. Figs, from what I understand, figs won't help you to gain weight. They'll help you lose weight because they will help you feel full longer. Anyway, I hope that explains a little bit more about figs. I know I've showed you these figs 100 times. Not 100 times, but quite a few times. And so I just wanted to give you a little more notion about the figs and what they're like. Anyway, please subscribe. Please push the bell. Do a like or a dislike. And do a comment. Thanks for watching.